the state Supreme Court that say that if a witness does not desire to be on camera, he or she does not have to be.
Everybody's fine, sir.
All right. Now, I would ask that anyone else who's going to come forward indicate whether or not you want to be placed on camera. The next person I have is Mr. Kevin Bright.
Your Honor, my name is Kevin Bright, and it's fine.
All right.
And this is a victim impact statement, and I'm here representing my late sister Kathy and my mother Dorothy. And I would like to say that, as far as this is, toward his sentencing, that the pain and suffering that he's caused our family, and the loss of such a beautiful young lady of 21 over 31 years ago, and I think about her, and what she'd be doing nowadays, if she could have had a life. Her execution by that monster was, he's got to go on and live his life 31 years now with raising a family and children and career and everything, and he snuffed out 10 people's lives that had done nothing. And my sister, she suffered so much, and this wasn't told as it brought out here, that it was brought out that she fought, it's quoted as a Hellcat, and I'm so proud of her for that, because I knew, she had that in her, and but she lived on approximately 5 hours after that, and she received over 20 pints of blood before she lost her battle. And I just think, how much she fought, and the only thing I wish is different was that when I wrestled the gun from him, I cut my hand, that it would have gone off, and that would have been in there. But God was in control, so I don't second guess that. But for her, and my mother, she had to live the rest of her life. She died at the age of 62 of cancer, and losing her daughter and almost losing her son, that just devastated her the rest of her life. And I think it made her life, with the depression and all the stress caused. I think that had a lot to do with her. So I really blame Dennis Rader for, causing her death. That brought that about. And as far as myself, the damage I received, looking at me, you don't see, that much. I have a scar here and some up here where he shot me, but I have, it was reported that I had brain damage and, permanent brain damage, and I don't have that, but I have permanent nerve damage, which causes me to suffer with, my body doesn't regulate the heat very well and humidity, and so I overheat and I get weak and everything. So that's one thing I suffer with for every day. And then I also have nerve damage that causes me not to be able to participate in eating food. My digestive system is out of whack, and it's like we've had these dinners, lunches. I can't participate in anything like that because I don't know how my body's going to react. It might be okay, but it might not. So, that's one thing I have to live with because of that. And but what I'd also like to say is I'm glad that I was there that day because of what Dennis Rader in his fantasy world was going to do to her probably if I wasn't there. And I'm just so thankful that I was there and could, prevent him from doing anything like that. And I just also would like the court to give him the maximum sentence that he could get, but also that he could be isolated. I don't know, this is possible, but I'd like to see him just serve the rest of his. I want him. Death penalty doesn't, isn't going to. It's not an option. But like I said, my sister and the other victims, they received their death penalty by his hands, and I would like to see him spend the rest of his life. I hope he lives 40 more years, but I want him to be, aware. Right now, he's not any remorse, no compassion, he had no mercy, and I think that's what he ought to receive. And I just, pray that he'll get the toughest sentence possible, and that he won't have what we have, like newspapers and magazines, and I've heard him talk about he's going to miss pizza and all this kind of stuff. But like I say, my sister and the other victims, they didn't get to live their lives out, and it's like Charlie was saying, he's being judged here now, but eternity, when he stands before the Lord for eternity, for his judgment, if he's still in his sins that he's committed here, he will spend it by himself in darkness, and that's what I'd like to tell him. Just thank you for letting me speak.
All right. Mr. Steve Relford. Mr. Relford, you may come forward.
My name's Steve Relford. Shirley Vian was my mother. I haven't prepared for this statement, but I'd just like for him to suffer for the rest of his life. And I don't. So.
Mr. Rick Vian.
Richard Vian, Shirley's husband. Read a little bit of Dicton's statement, like then and now. Back then, he was driving by. I was sitting on the front porch, wondering if his family ought to live or die. I got faces now of what I was thinking. It's all coming back. He talks about Shirley throwing up a lot of blood in that crusty stuff I cleaned up. I mean, I don't know what to say. He talks, she smoked a cigarette. I remember cigarette burns and broken fingers. And I know where he's going, but I'm out here, and I'm like that package you wrote.
Mr. Fox, you may come forward.
My name is Fred Fox, the older brother of Nancy Fox. Whew. We miss her very much. We love her. She's still in our hearts. This monster took her life. Rest of us are married, have kids. They'll never ever get to meet her. She's never had a life. And there was fear in my life after she passed away. I don't want to give the monster the right to know all that fear. But I hope his sentence is the worst that can be, and that he'll be put away for the rest of his life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Beverly Flapp.